Hello and welcome. My name is Susan Whitaker, and today we're going to be doing yoga for the root chakra. And the root chakra is the lowest chakra in the body, and it's where we connect to the earth with our feet, our legs, our hips, and our tailbone. So it's a very essential chakra. It's of the earth, and it's important that we learn to root down. It helps us to be grounded. It gives us a sense of safety, a sense of security. So take a moment and just bend your knees and bounce just a little bit and feel your feet kind of pushing up and down on the earth. And then slowly straighten your legs. And we're going to turn the head to the right. And as you turn your head to the right, bend your left knee, come onto the ball of the left foot. Then turn back again, let your left foot touch. Bend your right knee, come onto the ball of the right foot, and turn your head to the left. Very simple movement. And this time as we go into the right side, bend your left knee, go to the right, take your left arm and take it with you. And then come back and bring your arm down, bring your heel down methodically. Bend the right knee, raise the right arm, twist to the left, and then come back, place your heel down, and rest. And we'll do that one more time. Left arm comes up. Inhale, turn to the right. Exhale, face forward and come down. Right knee bends, right arm comes up, twist to the left. And this gives you a sense of groundedness and presence. And then bring the arm down. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. And now take a wide stance, just as wide as you comfortably can. And we're going into a squat pose. So breathe in, lift your arms overhead. Let your palms face down and bring your hands right through your center as you start to bend the knees. Now everybody's knees are different, so you want to go to the level that works for you. So if this kind of sumo wrestler stance works for you, you're going to stay here. Otherwise you can rise up just a little bit. Otherwise, you can just buckle your knees slightly. Good. And holding this squat pose, we're going to lift the heels and drop them down. And if you can just do one at a time, just do one at a time. So heels up, heels down, and kind of jar the body one more time. Heels up, heels down. Now we're taking a wider stance, even wider, so kind of heel toe your feet out wide, and we'll raise the arms again. Breathe in. Think of being down weighted. As you bring your hands down, we're going to bend the left knee. Put your left hand on your left thigh, your right hand on your right thigh, and then shift over to the right side. And just like the previous squat, you can go deep or you can stay up, kind of shallow in the knees. Really listen to your knees. You could also bring your hands to the floor and really drop down. So whatever works best for you, walking hand over hand, bend that knee. Good, getting a good stretch, feeling your legs, having a relationship with the feet, the knees, the legs, the hips, and one that's not based on pain, but that's based on security and presence. When you come back to the middle this time, bend both knees, raise your arms out and up. One more time, deep breath. And bring your hands right down through the center like you're clearing a path for yourself. Now relax into your fingertips and step your feet together. You can heel toe or you can just walk your feet together. And we're going to come down on the floor in a child pose. Now if you have issues with your knees, here's your child pose. You're going to lie on your back and bring your knees into your chest. But if you're able to, come onto your hands and knees, and then bring your hips back onto your heels. Bring your head down, and you'll stack your hands, resting your forehead on your hands. And just take a moment to shrug the shoulders, roll them a little bit, wiggle your hips a little bit, and let yourself sink down into this small space so it feels like you are in close contact with the earth. Take one more round of breath as you relax in this position. Notice your shins and the tops of your feet. And then lifting your head, we're going to walk over to the right side. Bend your elbows. We're going to bend the left arm and bring your forehead down onto your forearm. Take your right arm, stretch it out a little farther. Keep your left hip pulling back onto your left heel. Now sliding your right hand back, come up onto hands and knees, but you're still curved to the right. And we'll go into the cat stretch here. So round your back, relax your neck, and then raise your hips, raise your chest. So we're adding a little side stretch to our cat. Arching and rounding with the breath. Make sure there's no pinching back with the neck. You can leave the neck extended a little bit. And then walking your hands back to the center and over to the left side and sink back into child pose. Bend your right arm. You're going to rest your forehead on the right arm this time. Have a nice curve in the side body and walk your left arm out a little bit. Let yourself sink down. Again, be aware of your forearm, your shins, the tops of the feet, and the forehead resting on your arm. And when you're ready, come up, walk that right hand forward, place your hands under your shoulders, and you're still curved. And we'll do cat stretch with a curve in the spine. Breathe with it. Inhale as you lift your chest. Exhale as you curve and round. Now walk your hands back onto hands and knees, and we're going to sit down. Take your legs as wide apart as you can. And maybe your feet are going to be off the mat. That's okay. We'll press down with the knees and lift up with the spine. Roll your shoulders again, back and down, and take a step forward with your hands. Again, knees down, feet flexed. And if you're okay here, if you're not curving here or uncomfortable, take another step forward with your hands. Now we're all going to lift the chest, so reach up with the chest like a cobra and roll your shoulders down your back. Now some of us are going to be back here, some of us are going to be out here. There's this really nice range of motion from here to here. So find your range and stay right in there with the head lifted, and we're going to turn the head from side to side as we root and ground through our legs. And take some deep breaths. Notice how nice it feels to be close to the earth. As your head comes back to the center, walk your hands back and draw the legs together. And with your hands beside your hips or your thighs, bounce your knees. This is a percussion massage for your legs. And pause. Notice how your feet feel. This is a great thing to do if you spend a lot of time sitting down or lying down. This brings circulation right into your legs. Separate your feet and we'll start to rotate the ankles. You want to keep suppleness in your ankles, keep stretch in your legs, feet, and your Achilles tendons. It keeps you from falling over. And go the other way. Just a real simple movement. But look how much it moves your legs all the way up into the hip sockets. And one more circle. And then come to stillness. And we'll bring the right leg in. And the left leg is going to extend directly in front of you. So lifting with your chest, dropping into your sit bones, pressing down with that left knee. Inhale and raise the arms overhead. just take your arms as high up as you can and exhale and start to tilt over. And right about a third of the way down, lower your hands. It's tempting to want to go all the way over your leg, but we're going to stop here, pop up on the fingertips, and lift the chest. And you'll get a really nice stretch in the hamstring. Do press down with that left leg, and you can look at an angle right in front of your foot, so we're not looking up, we're not looking down, we're thinking of the neck as an extension out of the spine. Keep breathing. Bring your elbows in lightly, lift your chest again, take another breath, and then exhale, walking your hands back. Take your right leg out and press down with the leg. Straight up with your arms, as high as your arms can go. If that's here, you'll stop here. If you can take them beside your ears, do that. Press the leg, flex the foot, and tilt forward. And as soon as you have that sensation that you're about to start rounding the spine, stop right there and extend and bring your hands down. So we want extension in the spine, not flexion. Lift with your solar plexus or your sternum, and elbows come down. Drop your chin a little bit so you can see about 1.5 feet in front of your foot, and glide your shoulder blades down your back. And we'll hold this pose and breathe as we connect downward and root and feel our sense of security and belonging here. That's what the Earth Chakra is about. Letting you know that you belong here. You're a part of things. You're a part of family. You're a part of society. You're a part of community. And to look at, what does that mean to you? How do you want that to be? With your inhalation, let your chest rise. And bring your right leg back. And we're coming back onto all fours. Place your hands directly under your shoulders. And we're going to raise the right arm out to the side. Bend your elbow and reach underneath you. Take your right shoulder to the floor. Now, if it doesn't reach, you're going to take your forearm instead and twist to your left. And notice how I turn my head to the left here. So just turn your head into a comfortable position. You can even gaze down. Keep your shoulder down. And if you've reached all the way through, rest on your shoulder. And everybody scoot your hips so that they're directly over your heels. So we're not leaning from one side or to the other side. You can take your left arm, lift it to the ceiling, or you can keep it right beside your face. So either here or here. Keep your eyes cast down. Exhaling, bring your arm down. Plant your hand by your face. Take the right hand out and plant it. Left arm up, just right to shoulder level, and then thread the needle either to your forearm here in the modified version, or all the way through, hand in front of the face or arm to the ceiling. Shift your hips so that you feel like the weight is evenly distributed on your knees. And breathe with it. Exhale, sweep your arm down, press into your hand, and release your arm. We're going to lie down on the back. Let your shoulders relax, let your hip bones relax. Take your arms out a little wider and begin to rock your knees from one side to the other. And just see how that feels in your hips and in your low back. Do allow your head to turn. And then come back to the central line. Now we're going to let the left leg roll open, okay? If that's not comfortable for your hip, put a block or a rolled blanket right underneath your leg. So the left leg is going to roll open, and then the right foot is going to step on that inner left ankle. So there's a place in your ankle, right between the ankle and the heel, that little dip right there. That's where you want to put your right foot. Okay. Now, pressing down with your right foot, lift your right hip and push it to the left. Notice how the knee doesn't go with it. The knee stays directly facing upward. And then roll your hip out and place it down. And again, press, curl in, release your hip to the right, and then place your hip down. Really nice hip stretch. One more time. Press into the foot, inhale, lift your hip, exhale, roll your hip toward the center, and you'll notice that your whole spine is arching from the base of the spine through the lumbar, all the way up into the neck as you let your neck turn. And then come back, relax your hip, bring your left knee in and pause. Place the low back against the floor. Now we'll let the right hip open out and the left foot step onto it, onto the ankle, not the hip. So you find that little groove right there under your ankle bone and right above your heel, and just step right there. And if you need to take your feet farther away, if that feels better, you can do that. If you're more comfortable with feet close, you can do that. So take a moment to see. And pushing into that left foot, we'll lift the left hip, roll the hip to the center, keep your left leg stabilized, roll it out, and bring it down. Okay, and again, inhale, left hip rises, roll it in, roll it out, and lower your left hip. One more time. Push with your foot lightly, lift your hip, roll the navel to the right, pause right here, and feel that long line of arch all the way from your tailbone into your neck. And turn your head to the right. Now we're going to roll back onto the back, relax, bring the right knee in and slide both feet forward. Pause here, take your arms by your sides, take a moment to breathe, and let the back body relax. See what qualities you feel as you practice this root chakra emphasis today. Now we're going to take the right arm straight up from your shoulder, so it's as though you're reaching for the ceiling. Now the thumb is going to rotate forward, and you're turning your arm so that your palm faces outward to the right. All right? In this position, lift your shoulder blade off the floor and then bring it back down again. Unwind your arm and bring it down. Let's do that with the left hand too. So raise your left arm up, straight above your shoulder. Dive in with your left thumb, rolling it to the left so your palm faces left. And then lift your shoulder blade off the floor and then place it down. Unwind your hand and bring your arm down. Good. Now, we'll join in with our legs and hips. So stepping your feet back, roll your left knee out again, step onto that ankle spot. Take your right arm to the ceiling and rotate your palm outward to the right. Now, as you lift your right hip, lift your right shoulder. Take your right hip to the left, keep your knees stabilized, and then bring your hip down, bring your shoulder blade to the floor. So we're rotating hips and shoulders together. Inhale, press, lift your shoulder off the mat, lift your hip, roll your hip to the midline, lower your shoulder and lower your hip, unwind your hand and bring it down by your side. Bring your knees in and pause. Take a very deep breath. And exhale it with a ha sound. Now let the right knee open, step onto the right ankle. Take your left arm up, rotate the palm. So the thumb drops in and you rotate around. If you can't do that with your shoulder, it's okay, just do what you can do. And then lift your shoulder off the mat. As you press into your foot, lift your hip, roll your hip to the right. Lower your shoulder, lower your hip. And again, arm rises, press into the foot, roll your left hip to the right. Feel the curve in your spine. And then lower your shoulder, unwind and lower your hip. Release your arm and bring it down. Bring your knees and feet together and touch the floor. Take your arms out at 45 degrees. And we'll gently roll the knees from side to side and see if you feel any differently in your hip joints. Let your head roll as your knees roll. And bringing your head back to the midline, bring your knees back to the midline, arms beside you, palms down. And we're coming up into a bridge pose. So pushing into your feet, lift your hips up, align your head, drop your chin, and then slowly press with your feet and curl your spine down. This time as we come up with our hips, we're going to bring our arms overhead, and we're going to do it in a really relaxed way. So as you raise your arms, you'll bend your elbows, interlock your fingers, and roll your palms out. So the arms are somewhat relaxed. Let's lift into bridge now. So with the arms in place, curl up, keep your knees parallel, lift your tailbone, keep your chin centered. Take a full breath. And as you exhale, start to lower your spine and bring your hands forward so that your hands touch your body as you roll down. Yes, and just relax hips, spine, and shoulders. Nod the head a little bit. And we'll do one more bridge, feeling the whole spine on the earth by pressing into the feet. Raise your arms, and it's your choice this time. You can either keep them relaxed, rotate your palms out, or you can extend them straight over your head. Give yourself a little more propulsion, honoring your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Exhale that breath. Take another deep breath. And as you come down, press with the feet, curl the spine down, one vertebra at a time. And sweep the arms down by your sides. Let your palms and the soles of your feet touch the earth. And take one more deep breath. Sigh that breath out. And draw your knees to your chest. With your knees together, we're going to roll the knees in a circle, massaging the sacrum. And then pause and begin circling in the opposite direction. And step your feet down, rolling to one side. Push against the floor to lift yourself up. Sitting in an upright position. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste.